Welcome back to my channel. In this episode, I am talking to my buddy Brian. Brian has done over 500 flips in the last decade. And last year alone, he did over 75 flips with his team. In this episode, we're talking about his beginning journey and how he started with zero money in the beginning in 2011, doing wholesale deals, and how that's transitioned to now. So hope you enjoy. Please consider subscribing.
So when you left Atlas and you were like, all right, I'm going to go into real estate investing, how much, like, did you guys start wholesaling or did you guys have like capital saved up already to where you were like?
It didn't start that way. I made the decision that I want to get into real estate investing as I was still at Atlas. Mm-hmm. Started kind of working on it with my former business partner there. And we were just like, something happened in the foreclosure industry. And I'm not going to get into specifics, but like our workload like drastically reduced for a long period of time.
Right.
While we were at Atlas. So we're like, well, screw it. Let's just, while we're here, I mean, we got to do something. Right. Let's go try to buy properties. So we started trying to buy properties. Actually, funny enough, we tried the route of going to raise money first. We're like, let's raise money.
Get kicked in the teeth of that.
Yeah. that lasted about 3 months of like, everybody was like, yeah, sounds awesome, but prove it. Right. So then we started the wholesaling route. We started getting momentum. Like we were trying to do this for like a year. Mm-hmm. We started getting momentum about 6 months into 2011. And I think it was 2011. And we started wholesaling. Mm-hmm. We had no money. We each had $2,500. We put it in for a $5,000 EMD. My partner I think he sold his boat. He had like a boat to get his money to be able to do this. Like we didn't have money.
I mean, that's kind of an awesome story to start out. Have zero money to start doing it, but that's how you have to do it.
Yeah, unless you're a trust fund baby, or you're really well connected by through other people that are willing to take a chance on you. I mean, I honestly think it's the best way to start because it forces you to be creative and learn and gritty and a lot of things that it forced us to do that because of that, it made us better investors and better business owners. So we did that. I think the first time we had no idea what we were doing.
That's what I was gonna ask you, if you guys got like coaching or you hired someone to like do behind the scenes. Cause even 2011, like now I look at wholesaling and it's popularized, but 2011, 2012, I don't think that like it was very mainstream.
Well, this was all before
social
info. Yeah. Like the whole info biz. Right. Now everybody's a wholesaling guru. Right. So, there were stuff out there and I'd listen to like, back then when it was like, you'd still get on CDs and stuff.
I was gonna make fun of you and say cassette tapes, but
yeah, I'm sure I had some of those too. Okay. So no, funny enough is, okay, as an asset manager, I literally sold properties all day long. Mm-hmm. I mean, we handled 300 properties at a time. We were selling 100 properties a month for at least 2.5 years when I was in that role. We sold a boatload of properties. Right. I knew a lot about real estate. I knew how to talk to real estate agents. I still didn't know what the hell I was doing with wholesaling properties. I didn't understand. I understood the concept, but I didn't understand the dynamic of it. So we knew how to get a property locked up and we knew how to run the numbers, but we didn't know what to do. So after that, and so we found somebody we met at a networking event, and he was a wholesaler, and we said, hey, we got this property in the contract, but we don't know what to do with it. We'll pay you. I think we said 25% of the fee or 20% of the fee. Just walk us through it. Like give us your documents and help us figure it out. So we did that, and that's what we did. He told us what to do. We did it. He did some of it for us, but not much. Right. We made $12,000 wholesale fee. We paid him $2,000. And so then we had $10,000 plus our EMD back, and we're like, oh man, this can work. Right. We did that 4 more times that year in 2011. And then we built up like a nest egg enough to be like, okay, we didn't take any of that money. We didn't spend it. We were not marketing. We were just, this was all off the MLS talking to agents. And that was really easy back then because there was like 50,000 homes on the market.
Yeah, it was a little different market then.
So yeah, we once we had those reserves, I went to my business partner. I'm like, hey, he was expecting a baby, so he couldn't leave. But at the beginning of 2012, I went solo, independent, and luckily, at the time, which is my biggest advice is just keep your monthly budget really low, right? When you don't have many monthly expenses, you have options, and it removes all the stress. So we didn't take any of the money, we didn't spend it. Like I see a lot of people do a couple deals and they go buy like a car or something.
Right,
it's like
right.
the worst thing you can do.
Right.
Save it, keep your monthly nut low. And we were able to, at that point, like justify me going full time. The company, out of the company, Nest Egg was going to pay my salary to pay my bills. It was like $2,000 at the time. That's what we did for the first 6 months. I went solo. Then he joined
Eventually,
after he had his baby. He came, and then we were off to the races.
So what was that? What does that nest egg look like? Like how much money was that? So people can get an idea on like how you guys got started with.
Well, we had $40,000 to $50,000 from the wholesale fees saved up,
Mm-hmm.
and we ended up getting because I had a small home, so we working from home wasn't the thing back then. So we ended up getting like a small executive office, so that was part of the expenses that we ended up incurring. But yeah, it was like $40,000-$50,000.
I mean, 40, 50,000 would have gone a long way.
Oh yeah,
Back
no,
then
I mean
with price points.
at the time we were like, okay, we need money for EMDs
Right.
and we need money for expenses. So we were like, I mean, it was like $15,000 covered like 6 months of expenses. And
Right.
we're like, if we just can close one property in that time, like we're fine. And we ended up, I don't remember the specific numbers, but we did like 4 or 5 wholesales that first 6 months or the last 6 months of 2011, and we easily did 15 to 20 in 2012.
Wholesales?
We started, yes, most of them were wholesales. We started flipping in 2012.
Gotcha.
And we did the same thing. We hired somebody that knew what the hell they were doing. And we're like, hey, we want to flip. We got a property. You flip it and let us
Kind of be a
learn
partner
from
in
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We brought in money. They brought in the skill. That's how I've learned most of my things. Like,
How I learned how to do the investing side too. I wouldn't have been able to do it if it wasn't for me trying to do it myself. I would have been too scared.
yeah.
I wouldn't have taken the risk.
Yeah.
Especially like someone starting out like with 50 or 60,000, they don't know how to invest, or they don't know how to flip or buy a rental property properly.
Oh, you can lose that money real
you
quick.
can lose it real fast.
And a lot of people, what I see a lot of people do too is like they educate themselves to analysis paralysis.
Mhm.
Like I could have probably taken that money and joined a course of how to flip a house, but it was a lot. Like I would rather fail forward and actually take the action that I know is going to result in the result that I'm trying to achieve. So and it worked. I mean, it could have gone bad too, but I guess it worked out.